this is Corey, and you're listening to The Read. It's me reading my Substack to you. PodflyAI. Actual intelligence. It was now what feels like, not so long ago, that our creative director began drafting our company's position on the use of artificial intelligence in our workflows. Notionally, we would take a stance, on the incoming technology and state for the record how or when or even if we would use it. Fast forward to the time of this writing, and the technology I speak of has likely advanced beyond my current understanding of it. I'm no Luddite, right? I currently have Perplexity, Notebook LM, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, like all on my devices, all of which, by the way, are paid versions. Sorry to my CFO. Moments in their implementation have been both indispensable and laughably dispensable. I'm a creative by nature, and like many of my kind, LLMs are a valuable tool for summarizing, rephrasing, conducting research. More specifically, there are two compelling implementations in my workflow. The first, getting unstuck, and second, affirming that talent has value. Getting unstuck. I've had countless situations where AI tools have kind of towed me out of the procrastination ditch. I take an RFP, a transcript of maybe a 30-minute presentation, another of a sales call, various emails, links to relevant web content and materials, and dump them into an application. With a few careful prompts, I have a bulleted summary of my first and next steps towards a thoughtful and comprehensive proposal and response. When I can't find the words to reply to an email or have the time to read like a 67-page scope of work before an upcoming meeting, or simply need a second opinion or fresh perspective on something, LLMs are very much like the overconfident and underpaid virtual assistant that I need. Not to do the work, but to bounce the work off of so I can clear the clutter and focus on the task at hand. In our company, this is a powerful internal-facing option for administrative tasks and operational activities and day-to-day requirements that come with running a small team with 50 clients. But that emphasis is on the administration of our small business. We are a creative agency. Although we utilize AI to assist with certain aspects of the office work, we never use it to deliver creative work. Talent has value. Mediocrity is not only the end product of AI creative, it's the programmed intent. The swaths of material ingested by these models aim to determine the most likely output that a human might create, be that the following string of words in a sentence or the shape of clouds in a given sky or the amount of noise reduction on an audio file that improves the sound without distracting the listener. It reminds me of some of the government accounts we've worked on. What is the most generic and least offensive way to accurately convey our point of view? Therein lies the vanilla-flavored contraction in government and AI-generated creativity. There's no point of view. To argue what makes art art isn't my intent. Our role as creative beings isn't dissimilar to the LLM at the outset. We contain a corpus of knowledge accumulated through our learning and experience that informs what we can output. We're given access to wider ranges of data sets to fold into that knowledge and influence the working process. And that is where we split. Two key areas matter to me. The first being that we are fallible in what LLM programmers would wrongly label as hallucinations. As a program, the LLM generates something that sounds right to fill in either an information gap or follow the natural linguistic path towards something that might pass as accurate. We too hallucinate, only ours is a mislabeling of overconfidence, fallacious thinking, or hubris, peppered with the occasional dumb luck. And that's what makes it creative. It comes from our particular and often inaccurate point of view. The second is that the best creatives don't ultimately give a shit what you think. We don't need to sound right. We need to sound good. And good is what we feel, not what something objectively is. Period. We are a dirty mirror. The ugliness of our bias shapes the beauty of our creations. I've spent 50 years preparing myself for this moment, pecking away at a keyboard or speaking into a microphone, interpreting the world I've ingested, which will likely differ tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. What tools I've collected internally are the experiences and knowledge unique to me. It's my database, my corpus. The sequence of next logical steps that my programming assembles is dirtied by the mirror I use to review, interpret, and reflect the life around me. It's that point of view, sullied with the messy worldview that an AI can approximate but never duplicate. It's a feeling. Right now, the feeling of AI, to me, is gross. The ick factor of an AI-generated email, M-dashes and all, or a soulless summary of a podcast episode feels more likely to please the programmer than the user. That is for now. I'm reminded that this is the worst it will ever be. And it's pretty darn incredible. That's often the case with new technologies. Engineers and programmers rarely build products that can predict how the artist will use them. It's through observation of its use in real-world applications that the directionality of a product is revealed. No engineer would have imagined that, for example, a guitar amplifier intended to make an instrument loud and clear would eventually be more desirable when it becomes overloaded, saturated, and distorts. Entire genres of music exist almost entirely on that unintended consequence. We have yet to discover the artful flaws hidden in what is made to be clean code. All right, what now? There's little debate that we stand on the edge of a massive shift in human existence. This time is as big or bigger than any era or advancement thus far. To be here to witness it is indeed a fantastic thing. For our little corner of the world, AI and podcasting are only starting to intersect in valuable ways. The post-production aspects of creating content are time-consuming and, in many cases, too expensive. When all we need is a balancing of audio levels or some cleanup and polish, AI is the way to go. The magic wand button in our photo app is 99% of what we need to get the picture to look great and share with our friends and family or audience. Podcast audio it's frankly no different. However, there is that 1%, the editor's sense of timing matched with the producer's direction and that writer's point of view creates something worthy of our full attention. We, at Podfly, we make those shows. They're people-made, full of flavor and je ne sais quoi. You know, not all photos need professional editing. Not all bread requires kneading by hand. Not all podcasts need to be produced by experienced, educated humans. However, the standout moments when a photo or spread or a podcast is intended to change you with its point of view or make you feel something new, then I strongly recommend that you find a person who has spent their whole life preparing for the moment that they make it for you. There are eyes out there for both Karen's Insta and Annie Leibovitz. There are palettes for both Wonder Bread and that little corner bakery. There's ears for Derek's Trucking Podcast Live in his shed and Radiolab. I ask you to consider what AI computes that the majority of people will like before you start making yours. Hey, thanks again for the hang and for the listen. I appreciate it. I say it every time. I'm away, but I'm back, but I'm away, but I'm back. I'm here. I'm going to keep doing this because I like it. You guys are giving me some good feedback. If you like more about these kind of ideas and stuff, you can find us at podfly.net. I'll catch you on the next one.